That button. Yes, that's the record broadcast button. Professional streams here at the Age of Bison YouTube channel as we bring to you another game in the Sunbros 2v2 tournament. This is a losers quarterfinal match, I believe. This is game one between Team Traitors, which is Corbin Harbor right here, and Steven Sundin versus Fluffius, which is Nicias, and Lopsided Fluff. We are on the map California here. Let's take a look at what civs. Man, I haven't done this in a very long time, Dunamai. I'm joined by Dunamai. My name's General Spades. This is going to be an interesting cast. I think we're both going to be a little bit rusty, but here we are. We're going to make it work.
Yeah, I think it's going to be all right.
Yeah, you're probably right. It'll be just fine. We have, let's see, Team Traitors going with their classic combination, USA Brit versus Lopsided Fluff doing Brit Dutch. And I don't know if I mentioned this already. We are on the map California. So
you mentioned it already.
I might have mentioned it already, but here we are. It doesn't matter. We're having fun. This is a best of 3 series. So winner of this is on match point, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the thing. Anyways, Britt already has his first shipment out. It's Team Musketeers. Oh, he took a trade post. That's why. Smart.
Yeah, so pretty standard deck for except 2 things, or I'd say 3. So you have the church card, so we might have some a little bit of ranger action, and you also have 2 cards which are grenade launcher and improved grenades. So the team musketeer, the card that either team or 1v1 musketeer card for Brit also improve the grenadiers, which is a unit. Keep in mind we're in the old patch where Grenadier had a much weaker melee attack. They are not seen that often, and it's a pleasure to see them at least possibly being tried this game.
We will definitely have to take a close look at the card order for Steven as he goes on collecting the 70 wood treasure. Already has his second shipment. It's going to be Virginia Company. We'll hop over to his teammate, Corbin Harbor here, playing in blue as the USA Marines. Well, we know what strategy he's doing. Plain and simple, Marine strat. Got his French immigrants.
So for people who may not be familiar with the strategy because they don't know, for example, Ulan Gaming on YouTube, which is where he popularized the strategy. Basically, you use the fact that there's a card you can get when allying with one of the federal states, which is called Pepper Minutemen. It gives you 6 militiamen for every town center you have. You can then transform these militiamen into Marines, which have increased siege damage, and from there you just obliterate every building your opponent has.
Pretty much. And they're really only countered by Lancer-type units because they don't have the heavy infantry tag, which is a mistake a lot of people that are unfamiliar with the strategy make. They see the Marines, are like, oh, that looks like a musketeer, and then they train skirms, and skirms don't trade very well against them. So that's fun. Nicias, on the other hand, as Dutch, has a water deck. It's called Water. He's got a lot of Age 1 cards. And
wow.
Is aging with the Quartermaster, so seems pretty typical. Water, going very heavy on the water.
And there's 1 unit shipment for land in this deck.
Oh.
So it's an extremely greedy deck.
You know, Dutch can get away with that, so we'll have to see what he goes up with. Let's see, the other Brit player aged up with the Governor. Get that 200 coin and the Outpost. And
yeah, already an Outpost in base also. So we see that they are not playing to play overly offensive. They want to get their boom going. I think we're going to see what Team Red wants to do is they have both civilization are very good at early booms. You have the mana boom, you have the bank going on for Dutch. So I think we might get an early score lead from red that can only get bigger and bigger. But then you have the almighty marine strat that could really wreak havoc on Dutch banks.
That is a good point here. Hold on 1 second while I do that. Pardon me. They're probably going to be playing defensively, uh, expecting Marines. Corbin Harbor is Oolong Gaming is known for Marines. That is his favorite strategy. It's something he's very good at. So they might be, playing defensive in to counter that. The stable coming out for Dutch on Team Red, Team Fluffius. So they know that Hussar is the answer to Marines. They have probably scouted out the deck and are doing the right thing so far to counter it. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna hop back over to Steven Sundin here, who is probably one of the wild cards in this matchup in terms of strat. He does have an outpost in base. Did he go up with the governor? I guess we didn't see that.
He has an outpost, so most likely yes.
Most likely, yes. Did send those two H2 cards, took the trade post, sent 700 wood, followed by 600 wood, which mirrored his opponent Brit player, who did the same thing, it looks like. Surprisingly, Dunamai, Dutch has the water deck and doesn't have a dock yet. What do you think about that?
I think this is one of the options for Dutch because Dutch has to pay something for its banks, and the currency for that payment is the fact that you cannot have more than 50 villages. But then there's water, and water doesn't count for that towards that limit. So you can transition to water afterwards as Dutch because you want to build the banks first, and the banks cost, as you know, 350 wood, which makes water booming and bank booming quite the ordeal.
That does make sense. Um, so you're gonna want to get these banks out first. Nicias not doing a very good job of hurting. These villagers are kind of exposed right now to some raids. So we'll pray that Nicias and his 3 sheep are able to get this hunt back in base, so that nothing bad happens to them. We're going to go over to Corbin Harbor's perspective, who is already age 3 and just clicked his age 4 to California. He's sent the Indiana Mammoth Improvement Act. State Capitol is going to be pumping out these town centers, and we've got 12 Marines and 5 regulars. Meanwhile, you were right. We do see quite a lot of musketeers from Steven Sundin here. Let's see if he's sent this card yet. He has sent 6 musketeers, hasn't sent musketeer and grenadier hit points yet. Hasn't even sent 5 villagers yet. So Dunamai, this might be a little bit of a timing attack as we see the musketeers move out. Let's see what we have in terms of defense for Team Red. Lopsided Fluff is going to age 3 here. Does have
Not
a
a
Rax.
whole lot, to be honest.
Does have a stable. Say again.
There's not a whole lot going on militarily for them.
No, as a matter of fact, there's kind of nothing. We've got 2 Hussar.
That's not enough.
2 Hussar from Nicias, and now that makes 7 musketeers for Lopsided Fluff, which is definitely not enough for what we have going on here. We're going to take a quick peek into Corbin Harbor. Let's see here. Has now sent United States Marines.
And Culpeper Minutemen. This is go time.
Yep. We are just about ready to push here. We're waiting for this last batch, it looks like, and there it is. So now Corbin Harbor has 30 Marines, 5 Minutemen, 5 regulars, thank you very much, and 5 Hussar. About to call another batch, and we will just kind of take a look at this 10-minute timing. as it comes in. Let's see, a flare from Corbin Harbor. He sees that looks like a dead hunt probably. Yeah, that's a dead hunt right there is exactly what he pinged. So they are going to be pushing toward Dutch, who has 4 banks. The Rax is going to go up, but
Oh, that is disgusting. That's
this
gonna hurt so bad.
this is Dunamai. Is this GG already? This
It very well could be, to be honest.
there's what is that? 12 musketeers. The, look how fast that Rax goes down. That is ridiculous. This strat is just so good in team games. The Marines are able to tear down all the infrastructure. The musketeers with let's see, let's hop over to Steven here, who has now sent Team Musketeer and Grenadier hit points. So
What is
his
Nicias sending?
Nicias is sending 9 Reuters, which doesn't
And they
feel
will
like...
never be able to block.
Well, it doesn't matter because the town center's down and Nicias no longer has a shipment point. Town center down, banks are going to go down. Hussar for Corbin Harbor are going to get some villagers here, and let's see, we do see that that the Falconets are out, so that's nice. So they are going to be able to defend a little bit here, but this might be too little too late. We'll see. Let's see, Nicias, Fluffius is the favored team going into this matchup, I'd say, Dunamai. Just in terms of elo, but this timing is formidable. All those banks are down now. One more bank left for Nicias here. We're going to turn Fog of War on and just see exactly what they're seeing. The Musketeers just keep streaming in. Let's see if these Falconets are able to do any kind of work, which unfortunately for Lopsided Fluff here, Marines do have a counter against Falconets, as the Marines will just come in and snipe these Falconets down. One Falconet down, second Falconet just like that is down. We got some veteran Musks, which, you know, do a better job of countering carded Musks. Let's see, is Fluffius... Fluffius has not sent his card, so let's see here.
Also, yeah, very good job on Traitors side to keep in mind that they need to destroy the bank. Yeah, don't forget to destroy the bank when they're exposed.
The banks and the market, because the market is probably, Dunamai, one of the most key things as, oh no, through the fog of war, the rolling artillery comes in, Gatling gun's gonna come in, and there's still quite a few, Marines out. They are getting slowly sniped down as they're focusing on the production buildings with their extremely high siege. Gatling guns going to get rushed by the Musketeers, but too little too late here. They're going to get one. They're going to get one. They're going to get 2.
I think this is GG right there. Like, I don't want to quote a famous artist, but they see them rolling and they hate it. This, I don't know how they can recover from this, because keep in mind, behind this, Corbin Harbor is not hampered at all, and he had 3 TC, and he's going to H4. So it's just gonna get worse from there.
Yeah, yep, yeah. And yep, there's GG called. You see, yep, there it is. Nicias is trying to rebuild back here, but a little too late. He has to rebuild all the banks, no investment in water. And that is that. That's a 13-minute game 1. Team Traitors takes a 1-0 lead in this best of 3 series. We'll scroll through the resources here. I think it was really bad for Fluffius to have no military by 10 minutes. By the time that group of Musketeers and Marines rolled through at about the 10-minute mark, Fluffius they were a little bit too greedy. Look at this military unit count. There's the Culpeper Minutemen pop. There's the march in. That's a shipment of Hussars. And you go team stats right here. 941, they're walking into the base. And Fluffius, they both went for fast fortresses. And they had nothing. And that was that.
Yeah, and this is really interesting, to be honest, because the Traitor team has time and time and again been the underdog in pretty much all of their matchups. But they find stuff that's just so out of whack compared to the normal meta that even better player are just out of their rhythm and they just can't counter it properly.
We
They were
saw
like,
that. Yeah, we've seen this whole tournament against MFD and McCleaves. They did the nothing but Gatling guns and Dragoon strat. We saw them do the Inquisitor Priest thing earlier in this tournament, and now they've busted out Marines. Uh,
I
it's
think versus you they did the mass howdah, which was a first timer.
That's true. Yep, they did that. Um, yeah, just a lot of off the wall stuff that people don't expect. It throws them off their rhythm and ends up being successful. I got nothing else to add. I mean, this was a pretty cut and dry game. I mean, you rush Marines, you siege shit down, and that's game over.
Well, I think this game is the reason why the Traitors team is a crowd favorite. Like you cannot not smile when you see 30 Marines rush down your base and burn everything down.
30 Marines, 30 Musketeer, and then the rolling artillery shows up behind, and it's just a massacre.
Yes.
Got the inspiring flag and everything. They even stole a sheep. How dare they?
For religious purposes. I
Well,
mean, and also, just to add insult to injury, you cannot plant an inspiring flag next to a town center. And just notice that this flag is planted at the exact spot where the town center was.
California is mine. Well, all right, guys. I know this was a short one. Still getting back in the swing of casting, but this was fun. Thank you guys for watching. Do the thing, like, subscribe. I got nothing else. Dunamai?
Well, thank you very much for tuning in. And we hope this was, even if a short one, an interesting game nonetheless. And see you guys around.
See you around.